Hey, George.
Hey, Nick.
Sorry to interrupt this episode of Reslayer's Take, but we have to tell the people about ButcherBox.
Oh, yeah. Listen, friends, we only do ads for sponsors we think are great, and ButcherBox is on our good list.
ButcherBox sent us each a customized box of high-quality meat, and they were so freaking good. It's so convenient having a box of incredible meat in your freezer without ever having to step foot in a grocery store.
And the greatest part? This antibiotic-free and humanely raised meat comes with plenty of curated tips and recipes. So whipping up awesome dinners is a cinch.
These prices are impossible to beat for the quality, and where the heck else can you get free protein for a whole dang year? Not the grocery store. So sign up at butcherbox.com/reslayer and get our special deal.
ButcherBox is offering our listeners a free for a year offer plus an additional $20 off. Choose chicken breast, salmon, or ground beef free in every order for a year. Sign up today at butcherbox.com/reslayer and use code RESLAYER to choose your free for a year offer, plus $20 off your first order.
Let's get grillin'.
Hello, Halflings! George Primavera here to tell you about Three Black Halflings, a conversational comedy podcast hosted by Jasper Cartwright, Olivia Kennedy, and Jeremy Cobb. Three nerdy friends with strong opinions and even stronger charisma scores. Having grown up in different corners of the world, they bring a diverse range of perspectives as they talk about their experiences as people of color in pop culture fandoms, D&D, and the TTRPG community. Born of a love of all things nerdy, all three of them share personal and often hilarious stories, challenge typical fantasy tropes, and tackle diversifying fantasy, all whilst discussing the things they love. From Lord of the Rings to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, playing your first tabletop role-playing game, or advice for seasoned adventurers, there's something for everyone. They've brought on an array of guests from all around the roleplay community and beyond, including Christina Ariel, Brendan Lee Mulligan, Jake Hurwitz, Lou Wilson, and many more. The list goes on and on. Join them in their quest to explore diversity in the incredible worlds of D&D and pop culture through thought-provoking conversations and good times. Subscribe to Three Black Halflings on Apple, Spotify, Pocket Casts, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes drop every Monday and Thursday. So long, Shire folk!
Welcome to the Reslayer's Take. I'm George Primavera.
And I'm Nick Williams. In this podcast, George and I lead a group of players through an exciting improvised adventure in Exandria, the magical world of Critical Role.
We're playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, but you won't need to know the rules to follow along. All you need to know is that nothing the players do is scripted or planned, and their fates are determined by their own cleverness and the random chance of rolling a 20-sided die.
You can listen to new episodes of The Reslayer's Take every Monday, anywhere you stream podcasts.
Or if you want to listen to the podcast 2 weeks early and uninterrupted by ads, join Beacon at beacon.tv.
Last but certainly not least, if you're enjoying the story, please consider leaving a rating and review. Your feedback might inspire someone new to join this adventure.
Now, without further ado,
welcome to The Reslayer's Take.
The very fabric of Deuteronomus's lighthouse begins to warp and shift. The floors rotate sharply, and the walls begin to elongate and writhe in unnatural ways. Your own shadows on the walls begin to enlarge and take on monstrous forms that dance and laugh in the lantern light. Deuteronomus, or whatever has possession of him, is standing stock still in front of you with 3 glowing red eyes.
Oh, jeez, Lou. How did I not see this before? It's a magnificent mansion. The lighthouse is a magnificent mansion. Doty's in control of everything about it, and the ghost is in control of him.
Suddenly, like a carnival ride, the floor begins to spin much faster. Timpani and Poogs, holding onto each other for dear life, are shuttled against their will into an awaiting doorway that immediately, as it closes, disappears. Each of you have a moment before the same thing happens to you.
Knowing that she doesn't have her eyeglasses, Hira dives for Farah and tries to hold on to her.
Farah holds on to Hira as well and tries to get low to offset the momentum of the spin.
Hira, Farah, both of you make a strength saving throw.
Nat 20.
15.
They are whipped backward towards an open door, but Farah hangs on to Hira and they disappear together, rather than being separated.
Don't let go of me!
Adrian looks around towards Frog and instinctively reaches out, shocked having seen everyone else disappear.
Frog grabs Adrian's hand and pulls him into herself.
Adrian, Frog, make strength saving throws.
9.
12.
Frog and Edrin, clasping hands, are shaken apart by the floor spinning ever faster.
Oh, no, Adrian!
And the Re-Slayers disappear.
Welcome, new friend. Do not be afraid. All will be made right soon. I shall fix you.
There is utter darkness. Farah. Slowly, you sit up. You feel Hira next to you. The ground is cold and stony, and the subtle sounds of drips in the distance echo along the walls.
Farah focuses intensely on her crossbow, imbuing it with Rite of the Dawn. The weapon lights up.
The light from Farah's crossbow illuminates dark cave walls, the color of auburn clay. Make a history check, Farah.
20.
In your earlier monster hunting days, you once journeyed to this very cavern and dispatched an immensely powerful Glabrazu, a large, red, spiky demon standing tall with 4 arms, 2 ending in fists and 2 ending in lethal pincers.
Yeah, this is very familiar. Glabrazu was here. It's, as far as I know, dead now.
Is this creature dangerous? Hira says, picking herself up off the floor.
Yeah, it's not something we want to mess with, for sure.
Footsteps begin to echo from deeper within the cave, approaching.
Farah listens closely to the footsteps, seeing if she can determine the weight of the creature approaching.
Make a perception check with disadvantage.
25.
What is approaching could not possibly be a Glabrazu. It would have to be wearing boots to make that click-clack that the footsteps approaching now make.
Whatever is approaching is not a monster. Or, at least, they're wearing boots.
I think we should be on guard regardless. And Hira attempts to conceal herself among the shadows.
Make a stealth check.
Nat 20.
Farah looks to her side, and Hira is gone.
Oh, great. She readies her crossbow to attack if she senses a threat.
Slowly, just barely at the edges of the darkness, a bipedal humanoid shape appears. And as it steps into the light, you hear a very familiar voice.
Ugh, look at you. If I had known I would turn into you, I would have let a monster eat me years ago.
A younger Farah walks into your crossbow light, dragging a massive greatsword on the ground behind her.
Farah shoots.
Roll an attack.
15, 18.
Both bolts pass through younger Farah as if she is not there.
Nice try. My turn.
Younger Farah lunges forward with a speed that surprises you. The sword slashes across your chest. Though you do not see a wound open up, a great pain burns at the point of impact. You take 7 points of damage, bringing you down to 37 points of health.
Gods, you're slow. Gods, you're annoying.
Hira, you watch this conflict kick off from the dark shadows of this cave. A strange, ethereal fog stretches between the two of you. Hira shouts to Farah.
Don't listen to it. You may be older, but you have more now than you ever did back then.
And then younger Farah's arm shoots forward, grabs old Farah by the neck, and lifts her up.
Farah focuses on the hand at her neck, trying to determine whether or not this is actually happening.
Roll an investigation check.
21.
You take 9 more points of damage as the hand clenches around your neck, but you realize that is not the point of injury. The pain you feel is within your mind. You are taking psychic damage, and this can't possibly be real. As you scan the room, something catches your eye. The younger Farah's greatsword that she lifts up to stab downward at you.
Time to die!
And you remember, you've never wielded a greatsword a day in your life. When you take a look at the hilt, there are 3 red gems set into the crossguard.
Farah shoots at the gems twice. 10, 22.
The first bolt goes wide. Younger Farah lifts the sword. It plunges down towards your chest, and the second bolt finds purchase in the blade.
6.
The bolt sticks into those 3 red lights. It exudes that red gas. The image of younger Farah flickers for a moment, and then you hear a voice along every inch of the walls of the cavern.
Get up, weakling, and face your inadequacy. You are a bitter, broken shadow of your former self. Your mortality haunts you. But I can take that all away. You won't have to fear what you are becoming, or what you never will be again. You will be restored, made whole. You need only submit. Poor, old Farah.
Farah attempts to ignore the voice in her head and tries to focus on the eyes once more.
Roll your attack.
22, 14.
The first bolt makes contact. Roll damage.
8 damage.
The younger Farah, having reeled back after the first bolt's impact, charges forward, greatsword raised, and as that second bolt lands into the hilt, the younger Farah stumbles back, and then the walls of the cave begin to melt. The younger version of yourself is pulled backward into the darkness as if yanked by a large rope, and then suddenly darkness falls once again. Farah and Hira, both of you feel yourselves suddenly collide together and shoot towards something else in utter darkness. Meanwhile, Jordyn, you find yourself alone. Sparse grass and gray dirt beneath your fingertips. As you look up, you see the barren valley of Xhorhas on the horizon. Exandria's moons shine brightly overhead, and you hear heavy, tremendous footsteps approach from behind you. As you look over your shoulder, you come face to face with a hulking figure, an ogre, 9 feet tall and 7 feet wide, dragging a wicked-looking club, backlit by Exandria's moons.
Jordyn, you can't keep me at bay forever.
A chill runs up Jordyn's spine, his arm hair standing on end. He slowly turns transfixed on this hulking figure that lumbers towards him. Remember what Mother said. Just a dream. Just a dream. You're not real. You're not real. Just stop chasing me.
The ogre shifts suddenly, growing much smaller, taking the form of an orcish woman wielding twin blades, wearing armor carved from ivory bones.
Chase you? We are you. We, us, you, me. All one in the same. Can you not see it?
No! I can't remember.
Something strikes you in the center of your brain. You take 5 psychic damage. Jordyn is brought down to 21 points of health, brought to one knee as the woman approaches.
I'm Jordyn. That's who I am.
A hand grabs your chin. The orcish woman is gone, and an elvish man of drow lineage tosses long silver hair over his black-robed shoulders, an emblem of the Kryn dynasty splashed across his chest.
Soon you will awaken. Soon we shall remember ourselves. It has been too long, far too long. We have business left unfinished.
What business?
You must embrace your duty, Jordyn, lest the curse of these lands take all of those you love from you. Would you allow the Luxon's light to fade?
No,
Do you wish to fail?
No, I would never.
Jordyn takes another 6 psychic damage, bringing him down to 15 points of health.
No!
And a high-pitched laughing fills the air.
There is so much inside of you, and you are so very scared. Climb clutching those beads around your wrist to stem the fear. You know not who you are. You know not what you are. But I can provide you with a sure direction, a North Star. Never again will your path be obscured. I would shield you from a truth that would break you, hidden deep beneath the surface. Let me save you, Adrian Shadowstep, before what's inside of you consumes you.
What truth? The elvish man speaks.
You know.
Idrin, make an investigation check.
19.
As the elvish man looks deeply into your eyes, you notice that behind him, Exandria's moons have taken a different shape. Suddenly, you no longer feel the cold wind of the barren valley, as 3 bright red moons shine down on you. Though now, they feel much closer than they were before, as if you could reach out and grab them.
Idrin reaches out.
As you do, you feel something hard stop you.
Don't try to escape. Stay right here. Stay with us.
No! I need to get back to them.
Make an athletics check.
16.
Your hand forces itself through whatever is stopping you, and you feel something like paper as you crumple your hand around Exandria's moons, and the lights go out in an instant, leaving you in darkness.
You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
And now for a brief intermission.
Creating really great retail experiences is tough, especially with multiple stores, teams of staff, fulfillment centers, separate workflows. It's a lot. But with Shopify Point of Sale, you can do it all without complexity.
Shopify's point of sale system is a unified command center for your retail business. It brings together in-store and online operations, even across 1,000 locations.
Imagine being able to guarantee that shopping is always convenient. Endless aisle, ship to customer, buy online, pick up in stores, all made simpler so customers can shop how and where they want, and staff have the tools they need to close the sale every time.
And let's face it, acquiring new customers is expensive. With Shopify POS, you can keep existing shoppers coming back to your stores with consistent, tailored experiences and first-party data that give marketing teams a competitive edge.
Want more?
Yeah!
Check it out at shopify.com/r/ all lowercase and learn how to create the best retail experiences without complexity.
That's shopify.com/r/.
Cha-ching!
With the planning, recording, and editing that go into the Reslayer's Take, Nick and I aren't left with a lot of time for exercise.
Luckily, our sponsor, Tonal, has helped us use the time we actually have to create personalized workouts just for us. Tonal learns from your movement and provides suggested weight recommendations for every move, and they even give you detailed reports on your progress.
They create personalized programs and workout suggestions based on your individual goals. Like me, I want the rogue-like agility to backflip over dungeon traps.
And I want the berserker strength to hold a heavy door up for my friends so they can escape the undead hordes thanks to my heroic sacrifice. With Tonal, you can do it all. It's like having a personal trainer at home with you.
Unlike traditional gym equipment, Tonal uses adaptive digital weight to advance your training techniques.
Whether you're a professional athlete or a cake-loving dungeon master like us, Tonal can be trusted to help you become your strongest, most fit self.
Right now, Tonal is offering our listeners $200 off your Tonal purchase with promo code RESLAYER. That's Tonal.com and use promo code RESLAYER for $200 off your purchase.
Tonal.com, promo code RESLAYER for $200 off.
Let's roll those athletics checks. What's up, everybody? It's George from the Reslayer's Take. Hey, do you remember that feeling of your first critical hit? Or are you one of those people who are getting ready to start their first journey? I have a show for you. It's called Girls Who Don't D&D, because none of this all-female team of players had ever joined a D&D game before, or any other role-playing game. They go from learning which dice is what to challenging the gods themselves. They are surrounded by a beautiful and chaotic environment that has been described as a cross between Terry Pratchett's Discworld and Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and it's a world you can be a part of too. That's because their listeners perform pre-recorded sections that fit into each show. How cool is that? Those parts and the rest of the show sound amazing, with carefully added music and effects that bring a touch of the cinematic to your experience. I think the most amazing thing is that they were complete amateurs when they started, and you should really hear how far they've come. It really does make you feel like you're sitting at the table with them. You can join this group of unassuming Australians, otherwise known as the Girls Who Don't D&D, on any device that lets you stream podcasts. But I'm warning you, this one is addictive, heartwarming, and heartbreaking, and very, very funny. And I hope you enjoy. Bye-bye! Now back to the show. We return to Hira and Farah, both of them falling from an unknown height, not taking any damage, but falling heavily into dusty ground.
Hira gets up, dusts herself off, and looks around.
You find yourself in a seemingly abandoned village. Buildings destroyed and burning all around you. A bit in the distance, a small child walks out from an alley, clutching a doll in their hands. Scared.
Hello? Pa?
Hira, you recognize little Delphine from Joskrin's Hollow. There she is in front of you, clear as day. But Farah, to your ear, Delphine's voice sounds slightly off, as if it's coming from far away, muffled and strange.
Without thinking, Hira runs forward to grab Delphine.
Hira, it's not real.
When Hira gets up to Delphine, touching her shoulder, she whips around, gasps, and runs as fast as she can, screaming, dropping the doll. Confused, your eyes find the shattered remains of a mirror up against the side of one of these buildings, and you catch a look at yourself. You are wreathed in flame, clad in black chains, twisted into an infernal visage, and the reflection begins to speak to you as a smile curls at the corners of its mouth.
Hira, you confound me. You refute your destiny at all turns. Why would you do this? You could be a force of nature. No. More than that. A being above the petty trivialities of an ordinary life. Above suffering. If you just heed my wisdom, I will forge you into what you were always meant to be. Someone that will make your family truly proud. And to all that oppose you, a life of endless strife.
The reflection reaches behind its back, pulls out Hira's old family horn, puts it to its lips, and blows. There are thundering, stampeding footsteps suddenly behind you. As you and Farah whip around, you see a horde of crazed, berserking soldiers attacking each other, attacking the buildings adjacent, ripping towards you in a massive wave. And before you know it, they are upon you. Metal slashing back and forth, the mirror laughing as all of this chaos ensues. As you are battered backward, you take 8 psychic damage, bringing you to 30 hit points.
And remembering the darkness inside of her, Hira channels it into pure rage and casts Hellish Rebuke on the mirror. You can't threaten me with the hells. I've been living there for a long time. 11.
Hira takes all 11 fire damage, the spell seeming to rebound back on her. She is brought to 19 hit points.
Hira, look for the eyes.
Hearing Farah's words over the clashing of metal, Hira, make an investigation check with advantage.
26.
You realize that you have been holding your family's horn in your hands, and on the bell of the horn, placed evenly along the rim, are 3 red lights.
Thinking of Janet teaching Hira how to use her horn that she was so trepidatious to handle in the first place, she recognizes this isn't the same horn and attempts to crush it under her hoof.
Roll an attack.
22.
The horn smashes apart. All of the mirrors and glass in the entire town shatter. The soldiers drop, and the sun goes out. You are in utter darkness again, and you and Farah are whisked away. Frog, you hear the aboleth's voice before you see anything.
In the pursuit of knowledge, you have left yourself and your friend vulnerable. I can give you all the knowledge you could ever want. I can ensure the safety of all those who have grown dear to you. You just have to let me. Look at Delmy. She yearns for your return. Do you wish to disappoint her, Frog?
Frog, as the voice concludes, you look a little harder through your blue, crystalline eyes and see the pillars of the monastery of the Order of the Cobalt Soul all around you. Behind you, a vast and frigid mountain range, and in front of you, kneeling at a kind of altar, a young woman in Cobalt Soul robes steps out of the shadows. Your best friend from the monastery, Delmy, and behind her, the silhouettes of the Order of the Cobalt Soul watch on disapprovingly.
Frog looks around confused, but excited to see her friend.
Delmy! Oh, Delmy, I have so much to tell you. I've learned so much. Let me show you my journal.
You abandoned me. How could you? I thought you cared about me. You're so selfish. All you care about is writing in your stupid journal. Look up and see what's in front of you.
Her words echo through the halls, piercing your heart. You take 6 psychic damage as you are knocked backwards several feet. Frog, extremely weak, is brought down to 3 points of health.
Maintaining eye contact with Delmy, she pulls out her tinker tools, hoping to fix some of the cracks and dents she gained in that last battle. And while she does this, she continues speaking.
Delmy, you're the one who told me to get out of there. You sent me away.
After Frog regains 5 hit points, repairing some of her previous wounds, Delmy steps down off the altar, hands balled into fists, arms bound tightly to her sides, leaning forward as she screams at Frog.
You couldn't have made it more clear that you wanted to leave. Is that what you do? Manipulate others to get what you want?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
You take 7 psychic damage, bringing you down to a single point of health.
Frog falls to her knees.
Tell me, you told me I wouldn't find out who or what I was if I stayed here. I need to know.
Frog, make an investigation check.
Natural 20.
As you look up into Delmy's eyes, you see them glowing red and see a third open on her forehead. This is not Delmy.
Frog drags herself towards this false Delmy. She stands up and at full height towers over her.
You're not my friend!
And with one swift movement, brings her forehead straight down into Delmy.
Roll an attack.
25.
Frog's head crashes into Delmy's and the illusion is shattered. There's an ear-shattering scream. The lighthouse around you shudders, and that dark presence seems to be expelled outward. All of you find yourselves in a stone room with a ladder leading upwards, slowly peeling yourselves off the ground, shaking the illusory psychic energy from your brains. The ladder leads up, attaching to a spiral staircase that leads to the massive, rotating lantern of the lighthouse, just barely visible through the hole above. The Reslayers are reunited, Timpani and Poogs also slowly making their way to their feet.
Are you guys okay?
No.
Actually, I'm not doing really good at all.
Timpani, obviously shaken by his own vision, says nothing and walks over to Frog, smearing a mossy handprint across her back, casting Cure Wounds. The mossy handprint glows on her back and begins to seep in, and she regains 22 points of health.
Frog is brought up to 23 points of health.
Farah thinks back on her experience to see whether or not she can figure out what just happened to them.
Roll an Arcana check.
25.
Farah, with her extensive experience in hunting monsters, recognizes the effect they have just undergone. An amplified version of an aboleth's probing telepathy, likely made stronger by Deuteronomus's magnificent mansion spell, allowing the aboleth to manipulate each room. Furthermore, Farah realizes that the reflection ghost aboleth must have a way to project its consciousness into the material plane from the ethereal plane, which means there is likely an open portal to the ethereal plane nearby.
All right, look, I know I'm not really good at this sort of stuff, but what we just went through, yeah, like, it really sucked. But it wasn't real. It's like this monster, an aboleth, it's telepathic. They manipulate you into submission, and I think that's what happened to Deuteronomus. Farah takes a minute and analyzes her friends, making sure that none of them made a deal with the aboleth.
Roll an insight check.
7.
The rest of your party stares up at you, listening to every word. Poogs looks down, refusing to meet your gaze.
Farah looks to her team that's looking at her and shifts her eyes, trying to direct their attention to Poogs.
He continues to look down.
I don't know what you mean about what we went through, but Poogs, are you okay? You seem like you've seen something.
Huh? What?
Are you alright?
Poogs looks up into your eyes, and it seems like the regular old Poogs, but he is deeply shaken.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Farah, Hira, make an insight check.
20.
9.
Poogs is himself, but he is clearly closed off and does not want to talk about what he's seen.
Respecting this, Hira will gesture to Farah to back off and give Poog space.
Farah backs off and tries to go back to her speech. So yeah.
Timpani leans in. You are in the middle of giving your rousing speech about how it's an aboleth and manipulates people.
Right. So yeah, to fight it, we may need to face some of our demons, and there's probably a portal around here somewhere to its plane, where we'd need to go to fight it.
Like the puddle that grabbed me?
Yeah, I mean, that was sort of a portal, but there's probably like a bigger portal somewhere. And I know, our relationship with portals isn't great. Well, at least this time, Timpani's not the one who made it.
Frog's little laugh echoes in the chamber.
With that laugh, Farah gains a little more confidence in her speech-making skills, realizing that years ago, she would not have been able to speak so eloquently.
Frog looks to Jordyn, who has been silent this whole time, and offers him her hand.
Jordyn looks at Frog with a sullen face at first, but then he turns around and casts Disguise Self to give himself the appearance of a smile, desperate to not talk about his vision.
Okay, I'm ready.
And he half-heartedly takes Frog's hand.
Help! Help!
Dodie! Timpani starts scaling the ladder towards the top of the lighthouse. I'm coming, buddy!
Hold on, Timpani. Hold on!
Poogs follows.
Hira starts up the ladder, passing both of them.
Move! Get to the side!
Hey, foot.
Sorry, was that your head?
Farah follows.
I guess we should go, yes?
Together.
You can go first.
Okay.
Frog scampers up.
Jordyn slowly follows.
As the Reslayers scale the ladder and then run up the spiral staircase that leads to the top floor of the lighthouse, there, against the light, slumped over, is Deuteronomus. He is clammy, breathing heavily, wild-eyed, and as you look at him closely, his skin seems to be translucent in the dim light of a lantern. The lighthouse's light, a massive crystal, is completely dark.
Timpani practically slides across the floor to Deuteronomus. Dodie, are you okay?
Timmy, quickly, turn on the light. Reveal the spirit, Timmy.
I don't know how. I don't know how, Duty. Tell me.
Deuteronomus's jaw suddenly clenches as he clearly feels a deep pain in his head. He takes 8 psychic damage, bringing him down to 23 points of health, and he is unable to speak. Suddenly, the windows on this top floor, which are in a 360-degree configuration, begin to rumble and shake slightly. A laughter pierces the air. A very faint shape of a floating, squid-like creature with a spiral of teeth and 3 bright red glowing eyes appears in every pane of glass. Everybody make a wisdom saving throw.
15.
6.
9.
8.
22.
8.
Idrin activates a chronal shift around Farah, muttering to himself, "Please."
Farah, re-roll your saving throw.
15.
Success. Idrin, Frog, and Deuteronomus take 14 points of psychic damage. Idrin is brought to 2 points of health, Frog is brought to 9, and Deuteronomus is brought to 9 points as well.
Farah turns her crossbow around, using it to smash the windows of the lighthouse.
One of the 8 panes of glass shatters, and a laugh continues to permeate the air.
Farah works her way around the lighthouse, continuing to smash the windows.
Farah, make a wisdom saving throw.
19.
Success. The psychic assault continues, but you resist it.
Idrin walks forward with purpose towards the crystal and casts light on it.
And it glows extremely brightly, amplifying the light spell to untold proportions. Light shines out in all directions. As the light shines out and the last of the window panes bursts, a spectral floating shape is revealed out in the night sky. Farah, standing at the lighthouse's edge, the wind whipping through her hair, spots it, perfectly within range of her crossbow, and the spectral bolt fills the chamber.
Farah pulls out her glasses, puts them on, takes aim, and shoots twice.
Roll 2 attacks.
25, 14.
One dips a little bit too low, but the other smashes into the center mass of this form. The scream intensifies outside, drowning out the wind. Gas explodes into the air, creating a red trail, as the mass with tendrils whipping behind it dips low beneath the lighthouse and disappears, flying as fast as it can to the other side of the island, leaving a trail behind it, and the psychic screaming slowly decrescendos to nothing. Farah watches the gas dip down below a dark, black-stoned well on the outskirts of town.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That was close.
Duty, is that... Are you back?
Yes, my old friend. It is good to see you.
Oh, so you do remember me. That's a relief.
Of course, Timmy, of course.
I thought before that I was just not memorable or something, but because you weren't remembering me before when we first...
Timpani, I could live 4 more centuries and I would not forget you.
Oh, come here.
Come here.
Timpani throws him in a giant hug.
Hot beef!
Sorry, guys. It's just it's an inside joke from university.
Oh, yes, many, many moons ago.
So long ago.
Duty, I don't want to alarm you, but I can see all of your insides.
His skin is almost completely translucent.
Oh, would you look at that? You can. What should we do about this?
Here, take off your robes. Let me get a better look at you.
Deuteronomus's shirt is lifted off.
This is alarming.
I pride myself on being able to see through people, but this is a little bit uncomfortable.
Timpani walks around Deuteronomus in a 360-degree walk, inspecting his skin. Whoa. Hey guys, take a look at this. Timpani flips Deuteronomus around, showing everyone his back.
On Deuteronomus's back, there is something written in a glowing illusory script. It reads, "I modified my own memory. Should I be saved, bid me drink the following: 1 ounce of a neglected tooth, 2 drops of a rainless noon, and 1 stiff slug of my very favorite." Everybody make an investigation check.
Nat 20.
23.
25.
4.
Frog and Poogs tend to their wounds in the corner, while Farah, flanked by Hira and Idrin, begin to inspect the room. Farah is the first to open a large wooden cabinet, revealing rows and rows of colorful vials of potions. Each potion is completely unlabeled, but their colors are extremely vibrant. There is a potion of every color imaginable.
Farah goes up to Deuteronomus. What's your favorite color?
Well, it changes from time to time, but I always return to this color. Deuteronomus holds up his pink glove.
Farah finds the corresponding pink in the cabinet.
All right, we got one. Okay, neglected tooth could be yellow, but if you like really neglect it, it could be black. Or it could be invisible because they're like not there anymore because you'd have to pull it out. Okay, I need help. Come on, ideas.
We could try any of those. Which would you like to try first?
I mean, I think we should really land on something, because what if some of these are poison?
We've survived worse.
I may not.
I hate rain, and as a fan of rainless noons, I like how blue the sky is.
Farah picks up the blue vial and pulls it from its holder.
Okay, so neglected tooth, we thinking yellow, we're thinking black.
A lot of the monks in my temple had yellow teeth.
And all the teeth that I took out to replace them with this were pretty yellow.
Farah shrugs and she picks up the yellow vial out of its holder. She looks for any way to measure out the potions.
There are plenty of alchemist's tools on the counter.
She grabs a beaker, measures 1 ounce of the yellow potion. She grabs a dropper to take the blue potion, and she just grabs the bottle of the pink potion. She heads over to Deuteronomus, hands him the yellow beaker first.
Deuteronomus accepts the beaker. Do you know what the most important characteristic is to have amongst an adventuring party of friends?
Trust.
Seeing that he hasn't died, Farah holds out the dropper, waiting for him to open his mouth.
Very well.
She squeezes twice.
Okay, still not dead. Here we go.
She hands him the pink potion,
A stiff slug.
Deuteronomus grabs it with a smile beginning to spread on his face. My old friend.
Suddenly, Deuteronomus's eyes light up white.
Timmy, I remember everything.
The Reslayer's Take is a Metapigeon production in partnership with and distributed by Critical Role Productions, developed in association with Hero Club. Game mastered and produced by George Primavera and Nick Williams. Featuring Nick Williams as Timpani Guff, George Primavera as Poogs, Jasmine Bhullar as Hira Agniheart, Jasmine Chiong as Farah, Jasper Cartwright as Idrin Shadowstep, and Caroline Lux as Frog, with special guest Christian Navarro as Deuteronomus. Also featuring Lelia Symington as Idrin's Orcish Shadow, Rebecca Meyer as Delphine, and Jackie Emerson as Delmy. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.